Welcome to the Global Pulse, a short video series where our experts break down a trending topic in international business and why it matters to you.
As we see lockdowns and events being canceled around the world due to the coronavirus, we might start to ask ourselves, what are the ethical implications of some of these decisions? How do people make decisions? In Italy, we've got football games with no spectators. We've got the Olympic torch being lit with no one there. And South by South this past week had to cancel its annual conference, which has people, hundreds of thousands of people come from all over the world. How do you make those decisions? Well, one framework is called a consequentialist framework. You look at the consequences of your actions, and you might come up with two or three potential paths: postpone the event, cancel the event, take it online. And then you look at the stakeholders to each of those decisions. So for South by Southwest, stakeholders includes bands, people who have made films, the venues where all these were going to be held, the restaurant industry, the hotel industry, the owners of the conference itself. And each of them has to weigh, you as the decision maker, weigh the consequences to each of these stakeholders. But a big stakeholder here is general public health. With hundreds of thousands of people coming together in tight quarters like a music or film venue is going to be, you can imagine that the potential negative outcomes of holding that conference were severe enough to actually swamp the potential benefits that any of the music or tech companies might have gotten from holding the conference. And so the organizers almost certainly made the right call there. Now, as we start to look at lockdowns, Italy on lockdown, parts of New York on lockdown, government saying maybe we shouldn't visit our elderly family in nursing homes or in old folks' homes. What are the ethical implications of that? There are ethical implications, but we might use a different framework, a deontological framework of duties and rights. What are our rights as individuals? What are our rights of movement? In the U.S., we put a very high value on that. And what are the duties of the government to us to keep us healthy, right? And how do those two things interplay? Right now, we're all going to have to make some decisions. The government will have to make some decisions about how much we are going to circulate, given how this virus is spreading. And we've got to decide what we're willing to give up, and if we do give something up, what we expect back from the government in return. And let me suggest that we might consider giving up some of our freedom of movement, but in exchange, I think we have the right to demand from our government transparent information, frequent information, perhaps they take on the duty to care for those who can't self-quarantine well, and the duty to take care of those who get sick. And so for all of us, I think it's something to think about, the duties that we have, the rights that we have, the duties we have to one another, to keep our illness alone, to keep it inside, and to find a trusted source of information. And for that, I can't recommend anyone higher than Tony Fauci at NIH. He's out there with solid information, trusted source. I encourage each of you to Google "flatten the curve." That's about how we can all help this virus be constrained. Good luck.